Hello, friends. Father Frank Pavone here, Director of Priests for Life. I want to bring you my daily diary update for the days of Tuesday, May 17th through Sunday, May 22nd. When I travel, as I did during these days, I like to bring them all together into a multi-day update, as you know, if you watch these regularly. And I like doing it from here back when I'm in my home office. So on Tuesday the 17th, I was here in the morning, did the early work at my desk as I usually do, the Mass in the chapel, which I taped for later broadcast, and the other administrative phone call that starts the day, and then the staff briefing that starts the day as well. Then on Tuesday morning, right after the staff briefing, had to have a meeting with our travel schedule coordinator at 9:15, followed by taping in the studio at 10 o'clock, 2 programs for Right Side Broadcasting, and then a whole bunch of pro-life spots and short items. So taped in there for about 90 minutes or so, and then came into my office and had a Zoom call with one of our new people at the Rachel's Vineyard office. She's filling in for someone who's on maternity leave. And so I had a meeting with her just before lunch, had a quick lunch, did some more email work at my desk. And my email work in these days, as you'll hear me refer to periodically, has to do with approving letters and emails that are going out to the public from Priests for Life, approving certain postings for the website, writing certain articles to be floated by publications for that purpose, and then preparing for upcoming trips and communicating with our team and with pro-life leaders, preparing things for the Dobbs decision from the Supreme Court and things like that. Worked on, worked on those things up until 1 o'clock when I got picked up here at the office to head to the airport. Our executive director was in the car, having gotten picked up at her house, and we did some work in the car, some meetings, some emails, some phone calls on our way to Orlando Airport, checked in for our flight, did more work there in the terminal, connecting with staff and responding to emails, got on the plane, did more work on my laptop during the flight, as well as some planning meetings together with Janet, our executive director. We landed in Washington, D.C. at about a little after, I guess it was about 6:30 in the evening, and headed over to Tyson's Corner of Virginia, where we checked in for a special meeting of conservative leaders, and we had initial meetings that night, a dinner meeting, and that concluded the day on Tuesday the 17th. Wednesday the 18th was a full day of meetings. Let me look at the schedule for that day. We had conservative leaders gathered in a room, and we talked during the course of the day. Special presentations were made, including presentations about this Supreme Court case on abortion, and of course we made comments in relation to that. Senator Rick Scott was there and various others. We conducted that meeting with our friends and colleagues from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. And then Janet and I headed over to the studios of Dr. Sebastian Gorka, and we were both on his program, and we were talking about this case from the Supreme Court on abortion, and we were also talking about Janet's new book for teens, Everything You Need to Know about abortion for teens. After having done that interview, we went back to Tyson's Corner and met up with more of our friends and colleagues, had a dinner meeting, and concluded the day on Wednesday the 18th. On Thursday the 19th, the day started with some early email work at my desk and communication with leaders and staff about the various topics I mentioned just a moment ago. Had an early breakfast, went down to the hotel restaurant about 6:30 and had a quick breakfast. And at 8:15, I had a radio interview with Teresa Tomeo. Right after that, I got on the briefing with my staff. And then after that, let's see, I had more email work until 10 a.m. when I got on an hour-long Zoom call where I was asked to give a talk, a 30-minute talk, and then 30 minutes of question and answer. This was together with Maureen Flynn and her ministry. Right when that finished, Janet and I got on a Skype interview with Steve Bannon with the War Room. So we were talking about Janet's new book and also, of course, about the Supreme Court. Once we finished with that, we had to go down immediately to the beginning of another round of meetings with conservative leaders that would last on Thursday and all through Friday. So we went down and we had the first general session, which was member introductions. So everyone there, including ourselves, introduced ourselves. And we began networking with our friends and colleagues there at that meeting, which lasted all afternoon. Various workshops took place. We participated in the sessions. Also, I had to go back at a certain point and connect with my staff and do some more emails. Then there were some receptions that took place. I said some words at a reception for Ralph Rebant, who's running for governor of Michigan, and I expressed support for him. Then went over to another reception for the Americans United for Life and for the Family Policy Councils, and was asked to close in prayer, close that gathering of top legal experts from all around the country in the pro-life movement. So I said a prayer with them for the Supreme Court justices. So those were two great receptions. Then we went into the formal dinner being held by this group. And after that, continued with networking and meeting up with various people until pretty late into the night. Then on Friday, the 20th, got up early, had a quick breakfast, handed out literature on the breakfast tables. This was a breakfast with again, with this gathering of conservative leaders. And then at the conclusion of the breakfast were the member reports. And so I gave a 3-minute report about some of the latest activities and resources of Priests for Life. Continued there with the meetings of this conference. And then mid-morning went back to my room, connected with our data team. We had to have a regular data team meeting, and then I had to have an update call with our vice chairman. So we talked about a number of things. So all of that took place between 10:30 and 11:30. Then I went back down to the conference, had lunch with them, various networking, lots of good meetings, lots of good sessions in the afternoon. Participated with all the people. I had a special meeting of the Catholic participants at which I spoke, and we all had a good dialogue there. There was a formal dinner in the evening with speakers and good networking. And then when I got back to my room, I did a Newsmax live interview. That was like at 10:30 p.m. I had that Newsmax interview talking again about, actually what the topic was Archbishop Corleone and his declaration to Nancy Pelosi that she cannot receive communion because of her abortion advocacy. So Newsmax wanted me to comment on that. Did that interview and then went to bed. Saturday, the 21st of May, got up very early, did work at my desk, email work, and preparing some op-eds, preparing for some upcoming trips. Worked until about 10 a.m., at which time I was picked up by a driver who brought me into D.C. And then I had a nice occasion. There was an honor flight. You know, these honor flights bring veterans to Washington, D.C., and they go to the different memorials. And so the driver took me to the World War II. First, he took me to my Washington office. I stopped there, dropped some things off. And then we went to the World War II Memorial, and I hooked up with one of these honor flights because my father was on it. So I hooked up with him and with the group of veterans that came down from New York, and we spent some time at the World War II Memorial. Then they went off for a private event, and I reconnected with my driver. We had a quick lunch, and then I took care of some phone calls and some emails in the car while we drove over to the Lincoln Memorial, and I reconnected with my dad and with the group. We had a beautiful group picture and spent some more time with him before I had to reconnect with the driver to go to the airport and fly back to Orlando. I did some work both in the car, at the airport, and on the plane. Reading, I did a lot of reading of some materials in regard to Roe versus Wade as we await for the court to reverse that disastrous decision. I had a flight back to Orlando and continued working in the car on the way back to my office. At my office, I began settling in and organizing things. It was kind of late already, so I did some organizing and then went to bed. That organizing work continued on Sunday morning, the 22nd, when I got up and was early at my desk, unpacking, organizing materials in preparation for the work of this week, and then did the 10 a.m. Mass live, the broadcast Mass, connected during the course of the day with various staff via email, and did some more preparatory work, some planning and some writing here at my desk. That took me through the whole afternoon, and then I had an early dinner, and I was kind of tired at night, so did a little reading and then went to bed early. That was Sunday the 22nd, and that brings us right up to today. So those were my activities, 17th to 22nd of May, 2022. Thanks for following these daily diaries. We will talk to you soon.